Hello friends! Today I wanted to show you how I get this super glossy high shine on my dice. First I start with the gray 3M polishing paper. And I'm just putting some water down here, getting it nice and wet. You want to make sure you're sanding wet because that'll limit the dust particles in the air, which is not good for you. Then I turn on my pottery wheel and I do about 30 seconds of circles here. And you can see the face is nice and sanded, nice and matte. And then I move on to actual sandpaper. This one is 2500 grit. I have this on a flat surface. It's like a mirror that I got from Amazon. You can use like a pane of glass. And I do the rest of these steps by hand because that gives me the best finish. And again, I do this for about 30 seconds. You can do the first step by hand as well, but it's not necessary if you have a pottery wheel or something like that. That step is mainly to get off like the bulk of the resin just to get it smoothed down. Okay, now that I'm finished with that step, you can see it's a little bit shinier. It's still pretty dull, but better than the last one. Then I move on to the next grit. This is 3000 grit. That just helps get it a little bit shinier. Again, make sure you're getting this nice and wet. And when you're actually sanding, make sure that you're holding your dice really parallel to the sandpaper. Try to get it as flat as possible. And I again do this for about 30 seconds. And if you've never sanded dice before, you only need to sand the face that is at the top of the mold or the one that has any imperfections. You don't need to sand all of them. Now that we're done with our sandpaper steps, I bring out the Dremel here. This is a Dremel stylo with a cotton tip. And I just pop that in, secure it. And then we're going to use some 3M step 2 and 3 polishing paste. I just squirt a little out and then dab it onto the face of the die. Get it on there nice and good. And then you just buff over it with your Dremel. And I will do this step 2 twice on each face. Each face that needs sanding anyways. And then I move on to the step 3 and I do the exact same thing. Put it on, buff the face, do it again. That just gets it nice and extra shiny. Lastly, I will take that last step of polish and buff any other sides that need it. It can help just make it overall shinier and get rid of any small smudges or marks. And then you're all done. Let me know if you have any questions.